When disaster strikes, knowledge is just as important as food, water, and security. If the internet goes down, power is out, and you're cut off from outside help, having the right books could mean the difference between survival and failure. Whether it's medical emergencies, off-grid living, or defending your home, a well-stocked prepper library is a resource you can't afford to overlook. Today, we're covering the must-have survival books that every prepper should own. Welcome to Prepper's Paradigm, your channel dedicated to practical prepping and disaster preparedness. Before we get started, a quick note. I use a computer-generated voice because my own is hard to understand due to an injury. In a long-term crisis, you won't be able to Google your way out of trouble. That's why serious preppers invest in books covering essential skills without having to rely on electricity, internet access, or batteries. In this video, we'll go over the best survival books for preppers, broken down into categories, including survival skills, medical care, food preservation, security, foraging, and self-reliance. These books will help you prepare, adapt, and survive in any emergency. There are links in the description below to the books mentioned in the video. Stick around to the end, where I'll also share some fiction books that offer real-world survival lessons. A well-rounded prepper library starts with books on general survival and bushcraft. These cover the core skills needed to stay alive in the wild, navigate difficult terrain, and handle unexpected emergencies. The SAS Survival Handbook by John Lofty Wiseman is one of the best survival books ever written. A comprehensive, practical, and field-tested guide. It covers everything from building shelters and finding food to self-defense and evading threats. Originally written for special forces, it's packed with practical, no-nonsense survival strategies that work in almost any situation. Another must-have is Bushcraft 101 by Dave Canterbury. Great for any experience level, this practical book focuses on wilderness survival skills, making it an excellent resource for learning how to live off the land. It covers essential tools, fire starting techniques, foraging, and even making shelter with natural materials. If you spend any time outdoors or plan to bug out into the wilderness, this book is a valuable guide. In any disaster scenario, medical care will be hard to find, and even minor injuries can turn serious without proper treatment. That's why every prepper should have books on emergency medicine and first aid. Where There Is No Doctor by David Werner is a must-have for anyone preparing for long-term survival situations. This book is widely used in remote areas and developing countries, offering clear, practical medical advice for people without access to professional care. It covers everything from treating infections and broken bones to delivering babies and handling common illnesses. For a more in-depth guide, the Survival Medicine Handbook by Dr. Joseph Alton and Nurse Amy is one of the best books available. Written specifically for preppers, it focuses on medical preparedness when hospitals are no longer an option. It explains how to handle injuries, infections, chronic conditions, and even perform minor surgical procedures if needed. A reliable food supply is one of the biggest concerns in any disaster. Having a well-stocked pantry is important, but knowing how to store and preserve food properly can extend your supplies for months or even years. The Prepper's Guide to Food Storage by Gay Levy is a great starting point. It explains how to build and maintain a long-term food supply, covering everything from proper storage techniques to choosing the best foods for emergencies. For those interested in home canning, Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving is one of the most trusted resources. It provides step-by-step instructions for safely preserving meats, vegetables, and fruits, ensuring you have access to nutritious food when fresh supplies run out. Even the best stocked food supplies will eventually run out, making it critical to know how to find food in nature. Learning to identify edible plants, hunt, and use natural remedies can be the difference between long-term survival and running out of options. Edible Wild Plants. Wild Foods from Dirt to Plate by John Callis is an excellent guide to foraging. It provides detailed descriptions and photos to help you identify safe wild foods while avoiding toxic lookalikes. For those planning to rely on foraging, this book is an essential addition to a prepper's library. For natural medicine and self-sufficiency, the Herbal Medicine Maker's Handbook by James Green is a great resource. It teaches how to prepare herbal remedies, which can be useful when traditional medicine is unavailable. If pharmacies shut down and medical supplies become scarce, knowing how to use medicinal plants could be life-saving. Surviving for the Long Haul means more than just stockpiling supplies. Whether you're living off-grid or preparing for an extended crisis, books on homesteading can provide essential knowledge for producing food, managing resources, and maintaining a functional household. The Encyclopedia of Country Living by Carla Emery is one of the most comprehensive books on self-sufficiency. It covers gardening, raising livestock, preserving food, making soap, and even home birth techniques. If you're serious about long-term survival, this book is a must-have. Another great resource is Story's Basic Country Skills, which provides practical advice on homesteading, woodworking, and land management. It's particularly useful for those who want to transition into a more self-reliant lifestyle. In any major disaster, law and order can break down quickly. Whether it's civil unrest, home invasions, or desperate people looking for supplies, knowing how to secure your home and protect yourself is a key part of prepping. Strategic Relocation by Joel Skousen helps preppers identify the safest locations to live or bug out to in the event of societal collapse. It provides detailed analysis of different regions, considering factors like security, resources, and sustainability. For a real-world look at survival during an economic collapse, the Modern Survival Manual, Surviving the Economic Collapse by Fernando Ferfel Aguirre is an excellent read. It's based on the author's firsthand experience during Argentina's financial crisis and covers practical security strategies, from home defense to situational awareness in lawless environments. While nonfiction books provide technical knowledge, well-written disaster novels can offer valuable insight into human behavior, crisis decision-making, and the psychological toll of survival. 1 Second After by William R. Fortune is one of the most well-known prepper fiction books. It details the aftermath of an EMP strike on the United States, showing how quickly society unravels. The book covers key survival challenges, including food shortages, medical emergencies, and security threats. Patriots, Surviving the Coming Collapse by James Wesley Rawls is another essential read. It follows a group of preppers as they navigate an economic collapse, offering detailed survival strategies woven into the story. Many preppers consider it a fictional survival manual disguised as a novel. While fiction shouldn't replace real-world survival guides, books like these can help preppers think through realistic SHTF scenarios and prepare accordingly. Start with the basics and expand your collection over time. Prioritize books that cover skills you currently lack, whether it's medical care, food preservation, or defense strategies. Make sure to own physical copies whenever possible. Digital books are convenient, but in a grid-down situation, they may become inaccessible. Hard copies ensure you have the information you need, no matter what happens. Don't forget to check out the links in the video description to all of the books mentioned in the video. We've covered some of the best books preppers can own, from survival skills and medical care to food storage and defense. Investing in the right books can provide life-saving knowledge when you need it most. What books do you think are essential for preppers? Drop your recommendations in the comments. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe for more prepping content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.